You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again, Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey everyone, welcome back, hoodies, to the hood table. Make sure you like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the hood table if you will for me, please, and thank you so much. We are now on Ruthless season 2, episode 2, and we are about to review it. It was titled Over the Barrel, and at the beginning of the show I was like, over the barrel, what they mean over the barrel? But anyway, we're going to get right into this, and make sure you leave me your comments on how you feel about these first 2 episodes of Ruthless season 2, and make sure you also join me later tonight for a live review of season 3 so we can discuss it. Episode 3 so we can discuss it. Thank you. So now, Over the Barrel, episode 2. William, he was supposed to be delivering some wood for the highest to make some incense. So seeing a wheelbarrow already full of wood, he was like, let me just grab this and take this back to the compound. Oliver, in fear of William finding Lilo's body under that pile of wood, knocked him to the ground. He was like, and pushed him all hard on the ground, demanding that he get wood from, the wood pile. But at his request, William was terrified of being punished by the highest if he didn't come back with any wood. And I was like, boy, come on now. Just get your own damn wood. Just listen to Oliver and go grab your own wood. Then again, I started to wonder if William would have preferred to be disciplined rather than be, keep being taken advantage of, by the highest. Because after William went to see the highest told him that he will see him later on that night, and we all know what that means. Hell, William knows what it means too, and he was just up there looking so sad, so hopeless, so desolate. I'm like, oh, poor child, Tyler Perry, why? But then Daikon, when Daikon got with Oliver, he wanted to know if Elder Mother had ever flirted with him. Oliver did tell Daikon that Mother invited Clark into her trailer. Daikon also, after hearing Clark speak highly of Oliver, wanted to know if Oliver was ready for recruitment. And we know that will be a problem because although Daikon acknowledges that Lilo is the devil, he suggested to Oliver that he keep Lilo happy. But Lilo, who obviously has been playing an important part in their recruitment process or their operation, is now MIA. And unbeknownst to Daikon, Lilo is very far from being happy. Very far from being happy or alive, for that matter. But as far as River and the highest, after the highest dismissed William, he asked River, does he look old? And of course, River was putting 20 on 10, making it sound as if the highest was the sexiest thing walking, sexiest thing alive. God's gift to women or men. With, the most amazing body and everything. But just because everyone's face lights up or get lit up, every time they see him or at the sight of him, that does not mean that he does not look old. His body still might be lean and strong or strapping, as my grandmother would say, but his face looks old as dirt. And y'all know, he looks aged. He really looks aged. And it's probably partly due to all those drugs he be putting up his nose. He be stuffing up his nose. And that's probably also why his ass is always paranoid, by the way. But he also asked River, he even asked him, Was he doing the right thing by using the children as mules to smuggle those drugs? And from the look on River's face, he was like, huh? What? Come again? He had no idea that, the reason for Yancey working on both of those buses was for the children could be taken to the border to smuggle drugs. And despite that, the highest told him that he would never hurt the children. So what does he call it? Because I'm sure the highest is aware that if any of those drugs, they're supposed to be putting them in balloons or condoms or something like that. But if any of those kids swallow, while swallowing those drugs, get any in their system, he has to know that they could die or they could get really, really sick. But I don't know. I swear that man is so delusional. He is so delusional. Talking about, oh, the kids, they'll be fine. They'll have fun on the trip. And they'll also get to see the beach. What's more fun than seeing the beach? Delusional, I tell you, delusional. But then, as usual, Daikon walks up out of nowhere, interrupting the highest and one of his boys. Daikon still was showing a hint of jealousy, wanting to know where the heck the highest was planning to go with River, because he had told River, maybe I can take you to the beach as well, to see the ocean or whatnot. And again, the highest was like, Daikon, that is so unbecoming. You stop, Daikon. But River ended up skipping off alone somewhere anyway, so that Daikon and the highest could talk. Now, as far as Elder Mother Marva, her and was it Agnes? Yeah, her and Agnes. Okay. Ruth, Tally, Paula, and Zane. They were all washing dishes outside, in those big old buckets or whatnot. And while sneering over them, Elder Mother mentioned how since Ruth and Tally, was put in a punishment trailer, they've been really keeping their noses clean ever since then. And because of that, she thinks it would be a great idea that Ruth now bunks with Paula and Zane, and Tally bunks with the other girls. And this is all to hopefully, make them be or put them in a position where they could be a positive role model to the younger girls. So, that's what Elder Mother thinks. But then Elder Mother inquired about Lilo, who is still MIA. She just can't believe that he's still in the outhouse from last night. And since she also knows how perverted he is, she sends Elder Mother Agnes to look for him in the children's den while she looks for him in the women's quarters. But then after that, after they both walked away, Joan approaches Ruth, Tally and the other girls, informing them of their meeting later on that night. Evidently, Ruth and Tally had no knowledge. They were unaware that they'd been having those meetings to plan their escape. Ruth, still not sure of who to trust, didn't want any parts of it. Still yet, some of them, including Paula, are actually planning to leave that night. As for Zane, she doesn't feel good about leaving anymore. And Paula, she's not leaving yet either, claiming that they can't all leave at the same time because they might, get caught. But are they leaving or are they planning to commit suicide like Ruth said? Like, did Ruth mean that they are actually planning to kill themselves? Or was what she was trying to say is that they will end up getting themselves killed if they escape that night? I don't know, but I guess in a sense, it could all be the same thing. They could end up, in the same place. But now, although Ruth is not in agreement with the others, she did finally tell Tally that she slept with the highest. Tally, in total disbelief, was like, what? When? Where? How? Why? Why would you do such a thing? Like, Tally was looking confused as hell because at first Ruth started sleeping with Daikon in hopes of stealing the key from Daikon. The key to the children's trailer so that they could rescue the kids. And now she's sleeping with the highest, which has nothing to do with escaping. Ruth evidently is under the impression that getting closer to the highest will get her closest to the money, which will then make them rich, because she's pretty sure that the money stashed at her husband Mary's house is nothing compared to what she can get from the coat. And then again, Tally, on the other hand, she does not care one bit about scoring no money. She don't care about no big scores. She just wants to get the hell out of Dodge, get the hell out of that godforsaken place. And of course, knowing that the highest is deranged, she's also concerned about Ruth's welfare. Like, she's afraid that Ruth might end up in a very bad position if she's caught, especially if she's caught sleeping with the highest by Daikon. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that now. Oliver, Clark, and elder mother Agnes. While keeping watch at the gate with Clark, Oliver kept glancing back through the gate, looking all nervous and shit. He was all on edge. And Clark, who does not miss a beat, kept asking him, like, what's the deal? Why you keep looking back at the gates? Are you watching your girl Lacey, which you should not be? And also, why didn't you have my back with Daikon? Remember, Oliver had told Daikon that he didn't see anything go down between Clark and Elder Mother, but he didn't see anything. Oh, other than Clark being summoned into Elder Mother's trailer. But I'm sure if Oliver had to choose, he wouldn't have wanted to witness anything that happened inside that trailer. I didn't even want to see that shit. I was like, oh God, poor Clark, poor Clark. But then out of nowhere, Elder Mother Agnes walks up demanding that Oliver helps her to find Lilo, since Oliver was the last one who seen him. Instead, Clark, who was still pissed off at Oliver, volunteered to assist her so that he can get away from the gates. So I sure hope whatever Oliver ends up doing with Lilo, that his body will never be discovered. And not only that, but will Andrew be able to help him? Man, when Andrew found out what Oliver did, he jumped out that car like, what the hell did you say, bro? Lilo's body is where? Because after Oliver took the wheelbarrow away from William, Daikon walked up asking Oliver to leave it in the middle of the compound so he can go off with him. So he ended up leaving a barrel of wood sitting right there in the middle of the compound by the finance trailer. Andrew said, so you mean to tell me, bro, that you have a dead body in the middle of the camp? Oliver was like, it was there. It was in the middle of the camp, but he ain't got no idea where the body is now. He was like, it's gone. It's moved. Like it just picked up legs and just took off. But nope. that barrel that was sitting right there. William, he took it to the highest. It was like, hey, he was like moving it, or he was moving it around or something. He had already took him some wood, so I assumed that he was taking it to the highest. But no, he was just using it, just walking up and down, exercising with it or whatnot. But anyway, FBI agent Malcolm and FBI agent Andrew's wife Sarah. Once Max stepped outside of Sarah's house, Sarah questioned Malcolm about how long the undercover operation will last. Of course, Malcolm, he couldn't answer that. You know what he was more concerned about, though, was if Lynn still loves her husband, or if Sarah still loves her husband, Andrew, which Sarah had no desire to discuss because in the meantime, Sarah needed to go pick up her son, who was much more important to her at that time. She and her son will be staying at Max's place until there are no more threats, on her life. I don't know if she's still in danger or not, but according to Brian, the sheriff up there might be involved with the cult operation. Either that or he's just terrified of the cult. While somehow I think it could actually be both. But for now, I think Brian needs to be more concerned about his wife, Lynn, who's threatening to use drugs again. So he stopped by to see her because she hasn't been answering his calls all day. And right away, man, he was slapped in the face by her telling him she wants a divorce. Lynn claims that she can no longer stand the sight of him and therefore no longer wants to be with him. So out of desperation, he presented to her those locks that they had engraved and then locked together. Back then, it was their display of love for one another, at one time. But not anymore. It was a way for them to show that they will always be together. But then after I'm sorry, my son is texting me. But then after he, showed her the locks, then he then suggested that they go back to the lake when they can, where they can throw the locks back in the water once they refill the lake, and then also renew their vows. And hold on one second, you guys, just 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. That was my son. He was texting me. So anyway, he didn't know that I was live. But so anyway, despite him being affectionate, thoughtful, and romantic, she had no desires to do any of that. And I'm like, is this all because she wants to do drugs in peace without him condemning her? Or is it really because she just wants to return to the cult or return back to Daikon? Y'all let me know. But later that night, Ruth met up with Daikon in the kitchen trailer. Daikon is under the impression that the highest knows that he and Ruth has been sleeping together. But what do you think would happen if Daikon found out that Ruth is also sleeping with the highest? Even though Ruth told Tally that because of his shame, the highest would never reveal that to anyone. But is that her biggest problem? Daikon had ran across some of her provocative images online. You know, when she was out there involved in prostitution. So now he's wondering, has she really changed? Or is she back to her old ways of sleeping around? And how the heck does she know that the baby she's carrying is indeed a boy? And is she really even pregnant at all by Daikon? I don't know. I don't know. Or is it Andrews? I don't know. But regardless of whether she's pregnant or not, any child born into that cult is a child of the highest. So neither Daikon nor Andrew will be able to claim that child in public, whether it's a boy or girl. But anywho, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Put your comments in the comment section. Make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the Hood Table if you're not already subscribed, and meet me later on tonight for a live session, a live review of season 2, episode 3. Ta-ta for now.